Hello and welcome back to Lovella's Coloring. I'm so excited to share with you all my first finished coloring book. It took me 3 years to finish with only just the 12 illustrations, but I'm just so happy I actually finished it and I did it. So I started this book in January of 2017, and there was about a year and a half that I didn't touch or color in this book, and I actually picked it back up last year in 2019 when I decided to finish the last 5 illustrations from this book. And as you can see, the book I am talking about is Astro-Inklings Zodiac Coloring Book by Tanya. I bought this book in 2017, and what inspired me to get it was a color along that was held on Instagram. The person who hosted the color along, her name is Karen, I believe. But through her Instagram, she was known as Book Talk 27. She actually shut down her account and is no longer active. I don't know if she has another account under a different name or if she's still on Instagram, but it was through her color alongs that I was inspired. I remember thinking, am I allowed to join these color alongs? Are they only by invites, or are they exclusive to certain people? And I believe I ended up asking her, and she said it was open to anyone who has the book. So that's how I started coloring in Astro-Inklings, and then from there started joining several other color alongs, continuing every month, every year afterwards. So, thank you, Karen, Book Talk 27, wherever you are. Thank you for enabling me to get this book, inspiring me to color in it, and for hosting those color alongs. Yeah, this book contains 12 illustrations, and it comes with a second set. The book I have was bought from Amazon, so it's printed with Amazon Create Space paper. The illustrator Tanya has an Etsy store where you can also purchase the books, I believe, and she also has them in PDF form. So I'll provide the links in the video description down below to her Etsy store and to Amazon for her book. So for this video, I'll be going through each of the 12 illustrations. The reason I like to explain what I use for each page is because, when I watch other YouTubers showing their colored works, I like hearing what they used in their coloring books and their thoughts on how or why they colored it, or a certain way. If mistakes happened, it's nice to know what they did to overcome it. But if you don't want to sit through that, it's okay. Down below in the video descriptions, I'll put down the timestamp for when the flip through of all of my colored version of this book, of the illustrations in this book, will start. Or you can just fast forward to the last few minutes of this video to see it. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the first illustration we'll see is Aquarius, because that's the first one I colored. Just right here, I'll show you what the line art looks like. Here, and here is my colored version. So I just cut out the page from the book because I'm going to be putting in a plastic liner to put into a folder. So so I colored this on the Create Space paper, and this is all colored with Prismacolor Premier. There was a lot of firsts in this. It's the first time I use the Prismacolors to do hair with really fine details, where I tried to do strands. Let's see. And then my first time using Prismacolors to color skin, where there's a lot of shadows, like emphasizing the nose, shadows around the face and neck. And I really like this page. It brought back a lot of memories, and the birds, I colored them to look like Seahawks because I am a Seattle Seahawks fan. So go Hawks. And so the background is colored with the Munyo soft pastel. And yeah, with the Prismacolors on this paper, I remember I really burnished it. You can see there's like barely any white spots because I didn't want to see them, so I really burnished it in. And down on this bottom part right over here, you can see how it's light. I did this area here with the colorless blender, and I stopped. I was like, oh, it's just in the bottom part, I just like leave it. I think I tried to color on top of it, but it kept sliding. It wasn't no color was adhering or anything like that. So yeah, so a lot of burnishing, a lot of blending, and I think because of that it took me a long time to finish this page. I think it's like a week and a half or two just to finish this page. And the thing with this book, with all of the girls that I colored in here, I loved doing their eyes, especially like trying to straighten out their eyebrows. So I spent a lot of time on that, and then giving them a lot of eyeliner, or not eyeliner, but eyelashes. Yeah. Okay, so this is Aquarius. The next one is Pisces. Over here, and also colored on the Create Space paper. And I colored this whole page with Faber-Castell Polychromos. I used the blender pencil, the Prismacolor colorless blender, on just blending a lot of this background, the leaves, and I had fun using the Faber-Castell to color her skin. I used the same colors I used on her skin on her dress, and yeah, I really had a lot of fun with this. I think I used white gel pen to do around the little balls in the sky, the lines around the scales on her face. Really loved how this turned out. As you can see, I straightened out her eyebrows. I spent a lot of time on that one and gave her lots of eyelashes. So this is Pisces. The next one is Aries, and I'll go back in the front for that. Over here. So this is the line art, and here is my colored version of it. Really love how the sheeps look. They really do look fluffy to me. So I colored this page with both Prismacolor and Faber-Castell. I believe the only thing that was the only one that was Prismacolor Premier was the sheeps, and I used the white from Prismacolor Premier to line up her skin because I really wanted her to be pale, so her purple hair would be like a lot more vibrant. And I think I got the idea of the purple hair from, I think it was Katy Perry. I don't know, I think she had purple hair and her skin was so pale, and I think that's what I based her hair off of. So the background is colored with the Munoz Soft Pastel. I believe I used like the black fine liner to make it darker. The black details like here on the head. And white gel pen. I think it's just on the eyes. But I don't know if you've noticed on the metalwork, like the crowns and any added stuff, it's all gold. So like Aries, you can see she has a gold crown. Go back really quick. She has a gold crown. So each of the girls will be having gold accents and gold crowns. But the colors are always different. I'm always switching it up, seeing what colors go well together. But yeah, really love how this came out. So this is Aries. So the next page is Taurus, and I have to go back here because this is the page, this is how the illustration looks like, but and it's the first page I colored for Taurus, and I messed up, and I was using Prismacolor to color her skin. I love how this part and her arm looks, but on her face you can see I think I used too much layers, so it started to crack. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like it was cracking, and I was, you know, when I color I'm looking up close, so it kept bugging me every time I see it. So, and I think I erased the whole face and then recolored it again, and I just got frustrated with it. So I used the second copy to color, and I finished it with Faber-Castell Polychromos. And I think I might have used some other Prismacolor somewhere else, like the plants or her dress. And the background is colored with Munoz Soft Pastel. Yeah, so it was a challenge. I just know with Create Space paper, especially this kind, it's not good to do several layers, especially with the Prismacolor Premier. It was almost the same with the Faber-Castell, but I was able to get away with it, and yeah. I colored the fur with white Posca. I think I just bought it. I think I always had gel pens, and I finally got the white Posca, but the size I got was 3M, so it was a lot more blunt than the 1M, and the strands came out looking a little thicker, but yeah, it's okay. So yep, so this is Taurus. So the next one is Gemini, and Gemini is right here. Let's take this out. So this is the line art version right over here. And here's the colored version. Still on the Create Space paper. So yeah, I did a lot of burnishing, a lot of blending, really worked out my hands, and yeah, I would get those dents. Is it here or here? I think it's right here. I get those huge dents from holding the pencil or the colorless blender, just trying to blend it all in. But I don't really like how I colored the gold on the crown. It looks really dull, but overall I really love how this this whole page came out. I just wish I did more white Posca instead of just on the moon. Put some white Posca on the clouds, especially on both sides. But yeah, I really love this page anyways, so it was fun. Okay, so this is Gemini. The next page is Cancer. Here, so here's the line art, and here is my colored version. So this is the last illustration I colored in this book using the Create Space paper, and because I used all Prismacolor Premier for this whole page and just white Posca, that's it, to line the details, the crab armor, her eyes, and the waves. But you can see I really blended that in with the colorless blender. I really love how the color of her dress matches the crab, and I tried to give her dimple. So I don't know if I achieved it, but I tried. Yeah. Okay, so this is Cancer. The next one is Leo, which is my birth zodiac, And I copied it onto cardstock. So here she is colored in. And I colored her with Prismacolor Premier and Munoz Soft Pastel in the background, plus a little white Posca for her eyes and the lion's eyes. I really love this paint. I loved how it looked like it was glowing from behind because I put the white Posca on her hair also to lighten it up. And in the background I added fields of sunflowers. And yeah, it was a lot easier coloring with the Prismas on here compared to on this paper. And I don't think I used, no markers on this one. So it's just all pencils, all Prismacolor pencils. In the next, I believe 5 illustrations, I use a mix of markers and pencils. So yeah, so this is Leo. So the next one is Virgo, which is this one. And I have some mishaps that happen on this one too. So this is Virgo, and I colored her with Touch New markers for her skin, and then Le Mouche for her hair and dress, I believe. You can see, yeah. And I just remember while I was coloring her hair was actually supposed to be light, like gray lavender, and I forgot. I just kept coloring in and just ended up dark. And then when I started to color her dress, I was like, oh, now she just looks like she's just all purple. But it's okay. I love how it goes. I love how her eyes pops out, the color. I used the same colors I used on this plant to color her eyes. I also used the At You Spica and Wink of Stella glitter pen for the details on her dress. And also stickles. I don't know if you can see the stickles right there. And I don't know what that is in the sky. Maybe pollen? I would think it's pollen. But yeah, on her face, there's a little like black line, and this is like the same thing that happened right here, but I really tried to erase it on this one. I didn't even try to erase it on here because I already laid down the pastel, so I just left it as it is. Oh, here too. It happened when I was trying to color her hair. I think it was either black or one of the purples. It was like this small, and I wasn't using an extender, and every time I tried to color it, it kept flipping off. I didn't know, like butterfingers. So yeah, but other than those little marks, I really love how this whole page comes together. Really love her hair. So yeah, so this is Virgo. The next illustration is Libra. Here, and here's my colored version. And with Libra, same again, I used Le Mouche markers and Touch New markers for her skin, and I believe it's pretty much the whole page. Yep, you can see. Kind of looks weird, but I can see. And I use Caran d'Ache Pablos to shade it all in, color it in, add depth to it. And I also use Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. And a touch of Posca for the eyes and on the clouds. Yeah, her eyes are the same color as the flowers. And I love how it pops out. Her skin really looks tan, so her eyes really pops out. So yep, so this is Libra. The next one is Scorpio. It's one of my favorite colorings I did in this book. So this is how she looks like. And I colored her with Touch New markers for her skin and Lemouche and Arteza Everblend for everything else. Yeah. I used the Holbein Artist Colored Pencil to shade it in, and white Posca for the raindrops and the clouds and the lightning. I also used a little bit of stickles on her crown, and I think on the, what are those things called? Armbands for her dress, if you can see it. Yeah. Really love this page. I remember not really being sure of how I was going to color it, so I did little by little. I did the plants first and the flowers, and then I decided where I wanted to put red, so I decided to put the red on the armbands and on her lips, and then then everything slowly started coloring it in. Had a lot of fun with this. So this is Scorpio. And next is Sagittarius. So here's the line art. And here is Sagittarius. So you notice I was trying to draw the line so I know where to stop, especially when I did the background. So this part of the background is done with Neocolor 2s, and I used a peach Posca to cover the black lines of the leaves. I wanted them to blend but not blend too much into the background. And so other than the background up here, I also used the Arteza Everblend, Lemouche markers, and Touch New markers for the skin. And then to color it in, I used the Holbein Artist Colored Pencils and Caran d'Ache Pablos. And what else? You can see the shimmer. That is the Zig Wing Costella glitter brush. And then I used the Uniball Signo for the gold in the leaves. And then the silver for the bow. And just a little stickles on the, the arrow thingy holder. And white Posca for the fur on the crown and on our little cape, and also on the flowers. So you can see on this one I used the 1M sized Posca. So the 3M, should pull it out. You can see how different they look. With the 3M it's a lot thicker, and I love how the 1M, it looks fluffier and a lot more fine. But yeah. And again with the eyebrows, I love trying to, I think this one is thinner, so I tried to thicken it up and gave her more eyelashes. Yeah, really love this page. So this is Sagittarius. And the last one is Capricorn. Here's the line art. So here is my colored version. So I colored this and finished it in December 2019, so just a month ago. And before I left to go to my parents for the holidays, I actually colored it all with markers first. So I used touch-new markers and lemon shea, you can see. And then while I was at my parents', I only brought with me the Faber-Castell Polychromos, so I used that to color it in. And then I remember with the ivies, when I was looking at the illustration, I was like, well, I didn't know what I was going to do with the background, so I was like, what are they on? It could be a wall, it could be something. So I thought I'd just make it easier on myself and just drew pillars behind her, and then just like the sky, like she's in what do you call it, like a pavilion or something. So yeah, and then I also added the Zig Wink of Stella glitter brush. You can see that shimmering on the tail of the goat and on part of her dress. I also added the Uniball gold on little accents around her dress too, right over here, the buttons, and white Posca, of course, on the pearls. Oops, right there, her eyes, lips, and then on the goat, to give it look like what am I trying to say? To make it look like it has fur. Well, it's supposed to have fur, but so you can see it, and dots to make it look like it's glittering. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So this is Capricorn. Go ahead and close this. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. And please take care and happy colorings. And now the flip through of all of the colorings will be shown. It's the same that I've put up on Instagram. So I hope you guys enjoy watching that too. Take care. Bye-bye.